I don't know what
I used all my energy in that first podcast.
I don't know what happened to us. Why are you laughing?
I'm exhausted.
So ridiculous.
I have to do that one-on-one today as well.
That the water bottle just a little bit.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. Good.
All right. Welcome to episode 28-ish.
28-ish.
We're talking today about the Executive Woman's Toolkit, which is so cool. I was so impressed.
Which is so cool.
Which is so cool. That's not what I want to say. Which is so useful.
Yes, better word.
There we go. You can edit that out. The Executive Women's Toolkit, which is so useful. So our intention when we created this is to support women in new executive or leadership positions to really set themselves up for success.
Yes, and even women who are aspiring to be in an executive position.
Yes, love that. So, whether you're in a leadership role, whether you're managing people or an executive, this could be useful for you, really to take your performance to the next level. Do you want to talk about, so we're calling this the Executive Woman's Toolkit, which is something that we created and it lives on our website, which is a free downloadable resource for women. For anybody, but we specifically geared it towards women in the workplace.
Yes. Yeah, because we're made aware of these alarming stats, and we do a lot of research in this area in our research division at 1111. And one thing that we kept hearing over and over was around this confidence gap, and it particularly lives in women, female executives. So some of the facts that really caught our attention was 67% of high-performing executive women said that they need more support building confidence to feel like they could be leaders in the industry. Women are applying for roles only when they are 100% qualified, whereas men apply when they have 60% of the qualifications. Ain't that the truth? In all areas. They even ask
that one really gets me.
Yes. They even ask out women that are 100% more attractive than them. How dare they? My God. And then 75% of women executives across industries have experienced imposter syndrome. And so, of course, we can all relate to this, men as well. But, our business coach said something to us recently, a few months ago, really stuck with me. And she coaches like founders, CEOs across the country, in the US, in Canada. And she said, none of the men I'm coaching have imposter syndrome.
I remember that. We both gasped. We were like, what?
So that kind of hit me. And I was like, okay, got it. And so then our marketing team put together this resource of how we can support women in building this confidence gap and addressing this confidence gap. So we can do, yes, we're recruiters, we're headhunters, but a lot of the work we're really passionate about is putting women in leadership positions because we know that when women win, everyone wins.
Love that.
Love it.
And so this toolkit that lives on our website includes things like how to goal set like an executive. There's guidance on how to accept setbacks like a pro. And then part of it is also what we're going to talk about today. So how to set yourself up for success in a new leadership position. So we have 5 takeaways that we're going to share with you, and we'll just jump right in.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So the first thing is to think about how you want to introduce yourself. I think this is so important for anyone in leadership coming into the business because often it creates some kind of unrest in the business for your team. Or I have found that when we have a new leader, right? It's like you need to form a new relationship with them. Are they going to make changes? What's their vibe? Am I going to like them?
Yeah.
What are they about, right?
Yes. And I think there's actually like a underlying real psychological thing that's happening for people because their safety and security is being threatened, right? Like there's uncertainty. So our brain is like looking for ways to process, how are you going to make us feel safe?
Exactly. So get ahead of that as a leader. Think about how you want to introduce yourself, what conversations you want to have, whether in a group setting, one on one. Is there any way that you can be vulnerable, share some goals, share some ideas that you have coming into the team? Um, sorry, I'm just reading. I think that's it. Did we want to share anything else? People
No,
looking at your
that's
company,
good.
right? So you want to be as open as you can with your team so they're not making up stories or filling in the gaps and creating
Mm-hmm.
stories around you as a new leader.
Great. Okay, so number 2 is don't be afraid to learn something new. As an executive, you're not expected to know all of the granular details of every business unit, but learn at all levels of the organization. So spend time with every single team that you're going to be overseeing, and even teams that you're not going to oversee. Like if you're in the retail environment and you're working at head office, go into the retail store, spend a day there, go to the distribution center, really understand each area of the business and how they work together and impact each other. But again, to point one, be visible, let people know who you are and show up. And it's the fastest way to get exposed to the inner workings of the business and understand the team at a deeper level and understand what are some, quick wins that you could have here. Like, what are some things that you're sensing are not working, and really hear from the people and get a pulse check on how they're feeling.
I love that. That really stood out for me. I remember being at Lululemon when we had a new CEO come in and she did a whole rotation on the storefront. Like she traveled the globe spending time in the stores,
Right.
understanding how the store functioned, understanding the guests, the product. It was so impressive and really built a lot of rapport and ultimately respect in the
A lot of
business.
trust.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. Okay, our third tip here is to drive the future of talent acquisition to be more diverse, inclusive, and equitable. So, the number one question that people ask us before joining an organization, our candidates that we're interviewing, is what is their current DE and I strategy? Do they
Mm.
have a DE and I statement? What is their viewpoint or position on DE and I? How are they bringing more diversity into the business? This is the future of business right now and the foreseeable future. It's
Yes.
not going anywhere. And it's such an effective way to make an impact. This is what really
Mm.
matters to people, right? So, if you're not feeling like you're an expert in this area, that's okay. Hire a consultant to come in
Right.
and partner with you to really look at how to diversify the company in terms of thought, gender, representation,
Yes.
and any other vital factors in your business.
So great. So key. I love that. Okay, so number 4, we have look for quick wins, opportunities, and low hanging fruit and start to make some impact. So, really identify any glaring weaknesses in the business, operationally or otherwise, and make some timely decisions. So, it's a really great way to establish trust and confidence quickly. And eyes are going to be on you. So, if there are areas where you can take opportunity to make an impact, take it, do it.
Yeah, so great. Okay, the last one here is always be visible. I think this is so important. The worst thing in the world to have happen when you have a new leader is
Right.
that they're sitting behind a door
Right.
and you don't know what they're doing behind there, right?
Yes.
I can't remember where I worked, but somebody in a senior leadership position actually put a glass door on their office.
Mm.
They changed the door from a wooden door to a glass door because they wanted to feel approachable and they wanted like literally people to have visibility into what they were doing,
Wow.
which I thought was so cool. Turn your video on in Zoom calls. If your company is a hybrid model, show up to the office, even if it's not required of
Right.
your staff. Make a point of being there, right? If there's anybody in the office, show up for them. Um, Sorry, guys, hold on. and always share your observations and your subsequent strategies. So this kind of goes back to what you were just saying, Tess, around low hanging fruit. I think it's really important to hear from leaders in their first 90 days what they've observed, what's going well, areas that they're going to be spending more time in, and doing that in a really relatable way.
Yes, so true, so key. And having that conversation further than the boardroom table with other executives, you know, letting the
Exactly.
collective know what you're going to be up to.
Perfect.
Love that. So those are the 5 takeaways that we have, or 5 action steps. So to recap them all, number 1 is think about how you want to introduce yourself. Number 2, don't be afraid to learn something new. Number 3, drive the future of talent acquisition with diversity, equity, and inclusion. Number 4, look for quick wins and low-hanging fruit. And number 5, always be visible. And that is a wrap. And so, with that said, if you are, you know, a female executive right now, take all the learnings and do not forget to always be looking around for other women that you can help and push forward and share this content with. Like Alisha said, we have a lot of free resources on our blog and our website and on our social media, because we truly believe, deeply believe, that when we elevate women, we also elevate communities, companies, businesses, the collective. And we do have an imbalance right now in the workforce, and we're all part of the solution in making it right.
That's a wrap.
Amen, sister. Okay. Preach. That's it.
Great.
Okay.
Let's wrap it up.
Toodles.
Toodles.
Bye-bye.
That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
That's what I was waiting for.
I was like, it felt so short. I was like, do we want to say anything else? I don't think so. That was super impactful.